trying to get their manipulator in there and pick up their piece so that they can go back to the task of getting it on the dam.
And who are the competitors over on the A side there?
On the A side here, we've got Tecnológico de Monterrey from Morales, Texaco. We've got Beijing National Day School from Beijing, China. Alpena High School from Alpena, Michigan, and Staples High School from Westport, Connecticut. So a real mix of folks.
And some of those teams are pretty powerhouse teams, too. So this ought to be interesting.
We saw some good action out of all of those teams over the last couple days. But you can see here the teams on the deck, looking into the pool, looking at their monitors. You got tether people right there on the edge of the pool. You got teams.
They got their piece.
You know, loading their pieces onto the front of their ROVs. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna flip over here. We've got. Look at that success.
That piece that they dropped, he came back up.
Yeah, it's coming back up, and I think they're probably going to reset it. And the other team that dropped their pieces, they've picked it up. That's good. Now it looks like they're hauling their ROV back by tether, but at least they're getting it back.
I don't know. Is there any rules on that on this part?
You know, I don't know that we have a tether pull penalty on this part. This is all about trying to get the pieces in there, and they really do only have the 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. So we are keeping to the time limits that were set in general. So that, you know, part of the game here is to be able to do it in that time limit.
Right. All right.
So here come. Dropped it again. Oh dear. I think that their whatever mechanism they have for hanging on to their piece is not doing its job.
Not hanging on there.
Yeah. In the meantime, though, you can see another team over here sliding. Oh, nice. It looks like they've got one ring on. Oh yeah, almost. They got one ring on and the other, but not the other side. So now they've got to reposition, perhaps. They're going ahead and sliding it down to check that function out. Okay, yep, they can slide it all the way down. But now they're going to go ahead and they're going to leave it there. All right, they're gonna think about it.
Enough of this.
Yeah, right. They're going to go back and think about it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, those guys reacquired their piece. Yep, they're good at picking it up.
It's just holding on to it that's the problem.
Now, I think maybe part of this is just trying to get the orientation right, you know? Can they get the orientation correct for getting their piece down there and secure? Right.
Little tether spin there.
Yeah, we're doing a little
victory dance,
spin action.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, over here on the side, let's bring up the preview side there. We've got another team that's getting really close to getting that in place. This is on the A corner. My guess is that this is probably either Alpena or Staples.
This is Alpena. This is that strange shaped one.
The strange shaped ROV, right. It looks like they've got at least three of the four hoops in place. They're really close. Let's see if there we go. All right, listen to that cheer. Listen to that cheer. Very nice. Nicely done. All right, now the question is, will they loan their ROV to another team?
Yes.
Right? That needs to have their piece put on.
Right.
Right? So you can look here, they're bringing it back to the surface. At the surface, they're picking it up. And they can't just put the other team's board in and pilot it themselves. They have to actually give the controls over to the other team in order to allow that action to take place. So sharing has to be sharing of the whole system.
Right.
Not just one part of the system.
Now, one thing that's interesting, when they first start out the teams at the very beginning of this, the poles are really shaky because they're not anchored. But as there are more and more of these tiles put on there, it actually stiffens them up and makes the a
little bit easier for the next teams to put theirs on at the top.
But again, this is a team event.
Yep.
And the overall, scoring and everything will be done based on the A team or the B team.
The overall team effort on each side of the pool. So it looks like we've got two in action here trying to position. And this is a combination of pilot skill and manipulator skill.
Mid-water flying.
Yeah, mid-water flying, making sure that the tether is not pulling the vehicle adversely.
And this is a really good case where the ROVs that are built with the IMU in software, because and the additional features that they have allows them very, very fine control from a very stable position.
Yeah, like this one you were looking at here on the left has got really steady, smooth action.
Right.
As they do sort of micro manipulation of the location of the vehicle relative to the top of those posts, trying to get the board in place on the posts.
Yep. And it's kind of like, you know what the difference between a driver and a pilot is?
No, exactly. What
pilot has the third dimension.
Oh, I see. So yeah.
The terrestrial-based robotics is all two-dimensional. When you add the third dimension in here, and you first off, they go
looks
from
like
being...
we got a successful emplacement here.
Yep. They go from becoming a robot driver to becoming a robot pilot.
Yep. Well, that was really a beautifully enacted. Yeah, they're doing the double flash of lights, saying we did it. It looks like those guys actually, some of the bits that they added, they not only added a gripper on the back or a piece on the back for their gripper to use, but it looks like they may have gone so far as to somehow connect the rings a little to make it a little bit easier to get them placed. But and I don't think there was anything in the rules that said you couldn't do that. You just had to make sure that everything was left in place that was there in the first place. So so we've got another team there, and their H2 rover is kind of twisted around one of the posts so that their back of their ROV is up against the other one. Now this ROV is coming over, I think, to act as a camera.
Right, so you can see where
the right. So the other operator will have a view of what's going on. There we go, getting in position to help them rotate their vehicle around. Meanwhile, over here on the, we flip over to the B side. In the B corner, we've got 3 ROVs in action. All two of those 3 have boards in their grippers, trying to get them on the posts. And we've got one board that looks like it got on the post with only one ring, so it's kind of dangling there.
That was that first one that
got put on.
We thought they were going to come back and maybe pick it up, but I think they're completely out of the water, so can't tell at the surface here.
So it looks like each of those 2 teams they're still working to try and position their boards. And again, this is one of those things where you just have to have patience sometimes and wait for the ROV to react to your controls.
And see, that's going to be the problem that we have to overcome for telepresence remote piloting, is any time delays that are introduced by the fact that your signal might have to go up to a satellite and back. Right. And that can literally add seconds. Yeah. So what you're seeing right now happened 3 or 4 seconds ago, and you're trying to react to something.
Yeah.
I know the first telepresence that I was doing from Wisconsin all the way down to Key Largo, Florida, there was a 3-second delay. And we're flying small ROVs, which are very fast, very quick to respond. So at first, you'd say, okay, I'm moving forward, and nothing would happen. You push a little more, and nothing would happen. All of a sudden, you realize that when the picture caught up with you, you're already on the other side of the lagoon.
Oh, wow.
And then, whoa, back up, turn around. But after a while, your mind will actually correct for that, so you'll know that when you see it and don't see the movement, you wait for the movement. So your mind will correct for it.
But it takes a little bit of time to get used to that.
So, but what I'm looking at is saying, okay, that takes a unique skill set to do that. So how can we do that? Well, the other thing we can do is improve the communication and the protocols to reduce the video, maybe use fractional video.
Yeah, but it'll never quite be the same as the
It'll never be the same as being there right now. Yeah. But if I could have something that gave me an instantaneous partial view, maybe a stick frame or something, so that I could see it in the stick frame and know that I've executed it, and then have the picture come to me to verify it.
Right.
And that's kind of what they're doing on the Mars rovers. They say, we want to go from here to here. They point it out, they turn it, they send the commands up,
and then they
wait.
They wait, right.
And
that's about an 8-minute lag, I think.
Upwards of more than 24, 25 minutes on the round trip to Mars and back. Yeah. Depending on where Mars is in relation to Earth, it can be Very, very long time.
Yeah.
So
we've got some nice action over here on the B corner side here. I'm sorry, this is the A side, the A corner side. We had the another sign emplacement, but if you look there on the left, they only got 2 of the 4 rings on, and that board is slowly swinging away from the axis that it's on. And I think as they look down into the pool, they may be realizing that in fact it's not quite as attached as they thought it was.
There's the oops factor.
Yeah, exactly. You can see it slowly swinging off.
Over on A here, they just dropped another board.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think they're having a little discussion here about going down, taking their ROV down, and perhaps repositioning the one that got away from them. Meanwhile, we got another attempt going on. You know, a lot of this does have to do with the angle, how flat the vehicle can be made, you know, how vertically stable the vehicle is, right?
And that's what I commented earlier on, is how stable compared to previous years these vehicles are this year. They're even more stable. And
yeah, that's true. We have seen some that are super steady.